Hi everyone, Simon here with a review of Totally Reliable Delivery Service, or DPD the game, considering once they threw a parcel over my parents' garden fence and it landed in their pond. This is a 1 to 4 player local multiplayer or online multiplayer, or a combo of, which I found really handy. And it's available for PS4, Xbox One, Switch and PC, and it's a PS4 version you're seeing on your screens. Thanks for the developer, they were kind enough to send 2 codes, so me and my other half went deliverying, and oh boy did we have some fun. There is a real curve with this game because it's functionality second, comedy first, but the gameplay is functionality first, comedy second, and so there's a real dichotomy in how you play the game. And it was funny because both me and my other half had exactly the same kind of trajectory in how we played this game over a period of time. For the first half an hour, we absolutely loved it. We were rolling around, we were diving on each other, we were making awkward gestures, we were running around with our arms in the air going, "Rah!" Not really delivering much at all, but having a good giggle, crashing vehicles, basically taking part in the parkour playground that is the various different islands that make up the game. Then we tried to play the game properly, and our frustration levels went through the roof. Like really immediately, because what it asks you to do is you use the trigger buttons on your controller to grab something, but most of the parcels are too big to then like drag along, so then you have to press the bumpers to raise your arms. So then you're like raising it up, but because you're basically like a gloopy jelly mould that's not quite set, a bit like human fall flat, you'll just kind of like flop around. And then like smash the parcel, and a lot of the fragile parcels like will start to decrease their percentage, so then you're like, start again. Then when you get them into the vehicle, you'll then have to drive the vehicle around, and you do that by just one analog stick. So like forward is forward, back is back, left, right, and so on and so forth. And you'll drive to your destination, or fly to your destination, or eventually kind of hobble there depending on what you're doing. You are given vehicles that are specific to delivery missions, but you can choose to ignore that if you want. And then you're ranked on gold, silver and bronze depending on the time it takes you to get through those missions. For fragile boxes, it will be on the percentage of health that box has by the time it gets delivered. Now the issue is that in a game that needs you to be precise, and this is really specifically about flying, you can't be precise with this game. We played for several hours and we never landed a helicopter or a biplane or anything like that because it would just smash, because we could not get any kind of precision to work because everything's just so jelly mold and like extreme physics. So we went from absolutely loving the game to being screamingly frustrated at it and still enjoying it, but just thinking, well, you can't do half of this stuff because it's just incapable, like it's half incapable of doing it, and it's pot luck when it goes right. That's where the multiplayer aspect of this game comes in. And it's because you'll need one person to be kind of like steering the car, another person or two to be holding the parcel in place so it doesn't fly off anywhere. And this becomes really, really key to have multiple people play the game when you're flying, because one person will be controlling elevation, one will be controlling steering. And whilst you can do that in single player with using both your arms, no one's then holding the package. So as soon as you tip in a certain direction, the package just falls out. This game is not designed to be a single player experience fairly. However, it's also in a weird way not really designed to be a multiplayer game fully either. And the reason why is that only one person can drive all the cars at one time. So then everyone else is just holding onto the package until it arrives, or holding onto the back of the car, and you can be dragged along behind it and it looks comical. But then like you'll only need 2 of you maximum to pick up a package to move it. So then what do the other 2 do if you're playing 4-player? You're just spinning around or doing emojis or like causing havoc behind the scenes. So whilst the game, you kind of need multiple people to do some of the stuff, the rest of the time you're going to be bone idle because there is nothing that fully engages all 4 people all at once. And it's such a weird trade-off because it's not kind of one thing or the other. So, whilst we was doing these deliveries and failing miserably, we then got to the point where we was just so frustrated at trying to play this game, we went back to just playing it around as a playground again. So we would like hang on to the Ferris wheel and then like press the button and you'd shoot off. We grabbed onto rockets and tried to go up into space. And it was back to being a hilarious laugh again. But then it wasn't really a game either. So yeah, there needs to be, and it doesn't need much, but it just needs a bit of a tweak to make the characters slightly more precise in their movements, because it's just a little bit too random at the moment, and it didn't feel like the randomness was part of the physics. It felt more because it was janky because of the implementation of the character rather than the physics itself, and that's where we was getting our frustration from. However, if you're not playing the game and you're just having a good laugh, there is plenty of fun to be had in the playground environments. There's a tornado that rips your trousers off. There is a fart and poo button, which caused us no end of fun. There's a couple of emojis, although that felt quite limited. It did provide some good comedy, so that as you was flying off, being like punted into the sea, you could do like a little question mark emoji. That's where most of our fun came from. So there is plenty of fun to be had. I don't think this has quite the staying power, perhaps, of something like Gang Beasts, but it's not far off. But I think I prefer my multiplayer Carnage to be a little bit more like your moving outs, your overcooks, your tools ups, because whilst like there is carnage happening, those controls are spot on. This is more the janky sort, which kind of puts you for a rage fest whilst laughing. And I think Human Falls Flat does it slightly better. However, if you've got room in your cabinet for some more fun and hilarity, Totally Reliable Delivery Service should be right up your street as well. So a bit of a mixed recommendation, this one. I think you'll know when you see it whether or not it's going to just make you rage or whether you're going to wet yourself laughing. Go with your judgment on it. I won't really be able to sway your mind because we felt both. There'll be a written review over on higherplayinggames.com, which will probably pare down a little bit more of my feelings into something a bit more tangible. Till then, any comments, please leave them down below, and I'll catch you on another one. Bye for now.
Hong Kong. I can imagine. Where shall I go? Where shall I go? Where is the drizzle? Where is the drizzle? It is there. No, I'm stuck in a mountain.
Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a collection of media projects ran by me. If you like what you see and want to find out more, visit patreon.com/Higher Plane Network. Your support can make so much more possible, be that a like, a comment, a share, or a pledge. Thanks for watching.